a significant amount of my money through artist share. My old records, you know, people say record sales are dead. They are not dead yet. I have all my old records I'm selling, and I'm still selling them. I just had to reprint Evanescence yet again. And I put up old pictures from the recording session and me talking about doing that music, because that record was made in the early 90s, so it was pre-artist share. So we created a little, everything I sell, even scores and parts. If somebody wants to play my music, I create a video for the band director about how I conduct the music. I put up a video with one of my players about how they solo on the music. I sometimes add a version of the music that doesn't have a solo on, so they have kind of those old Music -1 type things where they can play along, sort of Aebersold with the Maria Schneider band or something. So anyway, it's fun and it's great. It's a lot of work, but it definitely reaps benefits. And I'm the master of my own domain. I own my own data. Here's the thing about streaming. You don't, okay, your stuff is on Spotify. They're taking all the money. They're controlling, there's all this stuff you hear about with the playlists and people buying playlists to try to instigate sales or getting curated and all this baloney. It pays absolutely nothing. It pays nothing, and then they keep the data. You don't even know who your fans are. So it's so ridiculous. I mean, who would do that? I challenge somebody, okay, so here, I challenge somebody to show me one jazz record, one classical record, one folk record. What else is there? Bluegrass that has made its budget for making the record through Spotify and YouTube and all of them combined. Show me one. So it's absolutely impossible, and most pop records aren't paying for it either. But the thing is, these companies that have so many labels within them, okay, they're making pennies on everybody, and then that aggregate is a lot of money, and then they steer it where they want, and everybody else is floundering. But here's the thing nobody talks about, and it's a really big deal. Most musicians I know, most of them, not all of them, because there's some labels out there that are run by people that have money. Most of those labels, you know, that are still, you know, there's somebody with deep pockets behind that, and thank God those people are there. But for most of us, and I don't really include myself because you know, I'm doing the artist share thing, but most musicians, and me included, if I don't make enough through my fan funding and through artist share, I'm paying for that record. And most musicians I know that are on labels are paying for their own budgets. Now, if they're paying for their own budgets, the record company isn't really paying for it, and then, or they're paying something, I don't know, maybe the printing of it, or I don't know what. And then the artist has no chance of making that money back. I mean, at what point does this become so unsustainable? It's incredible. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this thing, it can't continue. It can't continue. There's a man I know, he died sadly, but he was a very, very successful investor, and I knew him through Birds. But he said to me one time, and you know, I was asking him about his success, and then we were talking about Spotify and Pandora and various things. And he said, I'll tell you a secret. He said, when I invested in something, he said, I never invested in a company where it wasn't sustainable for every single person that contributed to the success of that company. Because if it isn't, it can't last. Now, you know, my feeling is if more musicians would say, hey, I can't live with this, then we could snip it off and start over.
Because I want to get to the other thing. Thank you.
You're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Yes.
Yeah.